Hello, everyone. Eating my lunch. Hi. Hi, guys. Tell me if you can hear me okay. Don't mind me. Just gonna be eating my lunch. Eat my noodles. Hi. Hi, Lori. Hi, Life with Parrots. Hi, Alex. Hi, Cass. Hi, Jerica. I am enjoying my meal. Do you guys have something to eat right now? Everyone should go get something to snack on. Good. I'm glad you can hear me. This is the second stream I've been in. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. Are y'all having fun in quarantine? I'll say right now, it's not much different than a normal day for me. No, you're not having fun. I'm sorry. Playing Splatoon. I'm eating pizza. Awesome. I love pizza. Can the virus infect ferrets? They are using ferrets to develop the vaccine, but there's no evidence that says that they can contract it naturally. So we're not sure, but you should just assume that they can. So make sure that you're, washing your hands and doing all this stuff. I've been binging Netflix. Awesome. So have I. Well, I've been playing video games more, but I'm so bored. There's nothing to do. I'm sorry. I repotted my plant today. Awesome, Alex. My plants are dying. I forget. I have some succulents that I've had for years now, and I think they might be at the end of their lives, or I'm just not taking care of them well enough anymore, because I keep forgetting about them. The one in the bathroom, though, is doing really well, and I think it's because, like, the steam from the shower, maybe, but the other succulents they're all going. It doesn't affect dogs and cats. I don't like video games. Gasp. I'm doing really well today. I went to the post office to drop off the giveaway thing, so that's done. And I went to the bank to deposit some monies. And I deep cleaned the apartment, so that felt nice to do. It's kind of annoying being in quarantine because I was going to go look at ferrets this week, but I can't now. Oh, I'm sorry. They'll be there waiting for you when everything's all over. Someone's awake. Well, they're under the closet. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's Appa. Appa's. Okay, for whatever reason, Appa, Howl, and Momo are growing in their winter coat, like right now. And it's March, and they're growing in their winter coat. I don't know why. So they're itchier than normal because they had their summer coat still, like, throughout the winter. So they're shedding their summer coat and they're growing in their winter coat right now. Don't ask me why. I think they're on reverse cycles, as it's called. So they're itchier. My parents were gonna get me a ferret, but we can't go outside now, so I have to wait. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking about waiting to adopt out Tanji until all the craziness is over. I think that's what I might do. My dad's coming home this weekend. He's military. That's awesome. Well, if he's coming home because of the virus, it's not awesome, but you know what I mean. Are your ferrets asleep? Yes, they are. They are. All 5 of them are asleep right now. If I live in an apartment, is it a good idea to get a ferret? Sure. I mean, they're good apartment pets. Just make sure that you check the rules and whatnot for that apartment. I'm getting quieter and louder. There. I moved my microphone. It's starting spring soon. Yep. I love your picture, Andrea. I think that's one of Marie's ferrets on my favorite Facebook page. I love that group. When will you be opening your raw education classes to more students? Soon. I think it might be hard for new students to like find supplies to make like the raw soups and stuff because of the craziness going on, so I may wait a little bit longer to open it back up. My ferrets are also on reverse schedules. Vet said it's probably because they are Marshall ferrets. Yep. Because when I got Appa and Momo, it was in the summer. I got them in like June, something like that. And they had full winter coats, like both Momo and Appa. And it was like the middle of the summer. But last year, Howl got his winter coat like at the normal time. So I don't know why he's all of a sudden getting it. My ferrets don't really get winter coats because, could it be because I live in Florida? Yes. And I think that might be why Howl didn't really grow his much, because I keep the apartment pretty warm, because I'm a weakling and I like it to be warm. Is today the start of spring? Is today the first day of spring? I don't even know. Do you ever take your ferrets for walks? Yes, I do. It's just here at this apartment, it's kind of dangerous because we live right off the main road, and you know, God forbid they slip their harness or something. So I'm a little cautious back here, and also because the people upstairs are like college kids, so they go in the backyard and they like party and they like throw glass and stuff. So in the backyard there's like broken glass everywhere, so that's really annoying. So I can't really go back there either. But they had fun. I went to Brian's parents' house, and they had fun in that yard because it's fenced in and it's safe in there, and they had fun. Hi, missed the beginning. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. My nose is running because these noodles are so good. I need tissues. How long will you be on? I am not sure, but I have no other plans today, so. Do you think I can get a ferret even though my parents are divorced, or would it be too stressful for them moving all the time? I'm at my dad's 2 weeks and then at my mom's for 1 week. I don't think it would be bad. I mean, as long as your setup remains like kind of the same at both places. Because ferrets do better at like traveling and experiencing new things, like better than cats do. So I don't think it would be a problem. Just make it as, you know, stress-free as you can for them. And if your ferrets have like IBD or something, like if the ferrets that you adopt, one of them has like a gastrointestinal IBD type problem, it might be a little stressful for them because those ferrets get stressed easily, and then the stress triggers the illness. If you were to feed whole prey mice, how many would you do a day? All depends on the ferret. Some can eat 2, some only eat 1. Also depends on the size of the mouse, too. I plan on moving tomorrow, traveling for roughly 170 miles. What do you recommend to make the ride comfortable with 2 ferrets? So I always recommend like hard plastic carriers rather than the mesh kind, because they will rip holes in that stuff like nobody's business. So hard plastic carriers, and get one big enough where you can put like a small litter box in the back of the carrier. And if the carrier has like bars like at the top, you can attach a hammock inside there too. That's what I did on my way back from Long Island. Oh, and also, thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. That is insane. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. When do you think you're going to do another subscriber ferret cage video? I keep forgetting to do that. I should probably do that sometime soon. Since everyone's home, it's probably a good time to do it. I'll do it again soon. Can I see the ferrets? They are all sleeping. Well, actually, one just woke up. I can't tell who it is, though. I'll let you know in a second. Would a ferret get along with my cat? She's older aged. Yes, or no. It really depends. Older cats tend to not really like ferrets that much. So I would never suggest, like, not, like, keeping one ferret and then a cat and then thinking that it's okay for the ferret. They're gonna need, you know, the same species companionship. Hello? I'll put their food bowl right there so that maybe we could see them, but... Is it better to litter train a ferret or potty train? Do you mean, like, get them to use a litter box or pee pads? It really doesn't matter. For traveling, can I just get a bin to put my ferrets in? I wouldn't do that. It's not ideal. It's not safe. Get them, like, an actual carrier. And the carriers are pretty cheap. Get them a hard plastic cat or small dog carrier. How did you start fostering ferrets? It really just started at my old job. There were ferrets there that were looking for a new home. And they were there, like, in the cage 24/7, and I felt really bad for them. So I offered to take them and help them find a new home, and it was really fun. But don't do it that way unless you know what you're doing. Do it, like, with a shelter so that they're responsible for the vet care. You know, they're the ones trying to find homes and so on. How's the foster ferret doing? He's doing great. I actually got him to eat raw today. Because the only thing that he will eat right now is duck soup, which is meh. But it's just something to get him to eat something. So I made up the duck soup, and then I actually put those, like, frozen raw bites that I use sometimes to transition ferrets. I snuck some in, and he ate it, so... And we made an appointment for him for next Wednesday for the consultation for his surgery. So that's really good. When should my ferret... I need to get a tissue. Excuse me, guys. I don't even have tissues. I just have paper towels and toilet paper. So hold on, guys. I gotta go get something for my nose. Got my towels. Should I brush my ferret's teeth once or twice a day? Depends on what you feed them. If you're feeding dry food, then at least every other day. Can you make a TikTok for your ferrets? Maybe. Maybe someday. Just wondering, what are you eating? Ramen. Well, like stir-fry type ramen, not soup ramen. I guess then you would just say stir-fry noodles. I've learned so much from your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I skipped over a lot of questions. Andrea, ferrets, if your fish is in a tank, they probably won't try to eat it. Oh, jeez. My hair's going crazy. They probably won't try to eat your fish. Roughly how much do ferrets cost when you first buy them? And then each month after? Oh, that really depends. I have a video on it, though, if you're interested. I've spoken to a breeder. In 3 months, I will be getting 2 black half Angora hobs. Congratulations! That's really exciting. If you feed them kibble, brush them every other day. how can I tell if my ferret is deaf? So a big one is to use the vacuum. Like this morning when I was cleaning, I turned on the vacuum and Pazu and Howl like freaked out. They ran out. They were doing laps around the apartment, and Appa and Momo were just sitting there in the middle of the carpet like because they can't hear, so they had no idea that it was even on. They were just sitting there. That's a good way to tell. If they respond to like loud sounds, it's pretty easy to find out if your ferret's deaf or not. When I ferret-proof my room, do I have to use duct tape? No, you don't have to use duct tape. I use duct tape for most of my things just because it's easiest, and that's what I had at the time. Should I get my ferrets cat toys? Yes. Yes, you should. Should I get multiple ferrets if I have to leave them alone for 6 hours? You should get multiple ferrets regardless, in any situation. When should my ferret shed his winter coat? It is different for every ferret. Like I said, 2 of mine, or 3 of mine right now, are on a reverse cycle. So since they're growing their winter coat now, they will shed it at the end of summer, which isn't ideal, but not really my choice there. Which was your first ferret? Pazu was my first ferret. When I get my ferrets, should I cover up my computer wires? It's a good idea. All of my ferrets don't chew wires, but some do. It also depends, like, if you watched or if you listened to my podcast yesterday, I talked about free roaming, and a lot of ferrets that have behavioral problems don't have enough free roam time. And I find that a lot of ferrets that chew on wires and stuff, they're just not getting enough free roam time. Or enrichment items. Do you think a ferret would get along with a shepherd dog breed? Yeah, there's one on Instagram, actually. You guys might like. Let me pull them up. Nova_N_Paco. It's a German Shepherd and a ferret that are best buds, and I think it's really cute. I think that ferrets have the potential of getting along with any dog breed as long as it's trained well and it has good manners and just a good disposition, I think, because my dog at home she's a hunting dog. She's not trained to hunt, but it's her breed. She's half Vizsla, which is a hunting dog, and a half Lab, which is another hunting dog. And Vizslas, in particular, are very prey-driven. But the minute she met the ferrets, she loved them. She never tried to hurt them. Sometimes she can be a little overwhelming to them because she wants to play. And since she's a dog, she doesn't understand ferret play behaviors. But I think that ferrets have the ability to get along with all dog breeds as long, again, as they have a good disposition and they're trained right. My ferrets try to eat my computer wires. Is there something that isn't bad for them that they don't like the taste of? Just the bitter apple spray you can try. It doesn't always work, though. Do your other ferrets get jealous because your channel isn't named after them? I don't think so. But, oh my gosh, Brian was so mad when I changed the channel name to Pazuandfriends. He was like, I liked it as Bryn Catherine. I'm like, well, if it's Pazu and friends, that encompasses everybody, all the animals I hang out with, all the people I hang out with. It encompasses everybody. I'm planning on getting ferrets sometime soon, and it might be in the summer if I just switch up their schedule once I go back to school from summer break. Would that be bad? Like, you mean free roam schedule? I mean, it depends. What do you plan on doing? How many ferrets should I get? At least 2. Ideal would be 3. Or more. Or 7. Or 10. Don't listen to me. What's your podcast and what platform is it on? It's called the Mindful Mustelid podcast, and you can listen to it on Spotify. I post the episodes on YouTube too for the people who don't have like podcasts, apps and whatnot. What else is it on? It is also on Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public. That is where you can listen to it. What types of toys should ferrets not have? Rubber. And all ferrets are different. Again, some cannot be with like stuffed toys. Yeah, just rubber, like silicone type material. My best friend wants a Vizsla. I love Vizslas. I love Vizslas and I love Weimaraners. They're my favorite. I'm hoping to get a Weimaraner someday. And it would be really cool to like have a video series of how to, you know, train your dog to get along with your ferrets, or how to train them, you know, because dogs can be trained on how to properly play with ferrets too. They're very, very smart. So it'd be cool to make a video series on that. Aren't ferrets solitary? No, they're not. Ferrets in the wild are solitary, but domesticated ferrets are bred in a way that has changed their social patterns and habits entirely. Is it okay if I let my ferrets free roam in my room, which is kind of small, and take them on a walk every other weekend? Is that good? No, I would say that that's not enough. Your ferrets are going to get really bored, especially since you're saying the room is kind of small, on the smaller side. Like, even in, like, my room, which is a decent size, if I had my ferrets in here all the time, they would be miserable. Ferrets are very, very curious, and they need to explore. And walking them every other weekend it's not going to be nearly enough for them. Thank you so much for the information. You are my favorite ferret YouTuber. Thank you. Someone's awake. Sorry guys, my chair is so squeaky. I say it in every live stream. Can ferrets have peanut butter? No. Do you have your ferrets sleep in their cage, or do they sleep everywhere in the house? I don't have a cage anymore, so they just sleep wherever they want to sleep. Usually, I close my bedroom door and then have them stay in here. Mainly because, like, God forbid something happens in the night. Oh, geez. God forbid something happens in the night. I know where they all are, so I can take them up and leave the house. But the, you know, likelihood of that actually happening is pretty slim, so, and I know where they all sleep, so if I needed to get out in a hurry, you know, I don't know. I've been doing research on ferrets for 7 years, wow. So that I know for sure about everything before I get one. So I'm only subscribed to you and Duke it yourself. Too much? That's great. My parents don't want my ferrets to free roam because they think they'll chew stuff up. Well, prove to them that they don't. Or, you know, really ferret-proof the space really well. That's all. Why does my ear look so weird? What toothpaste should I use for ferrets? Most cat toothpastes are fine. What other enrichment toys do you recommend? Tunnels, ball pits, like get a kiddie pool and fill it with ping pong balls. They're entertained so easily by things. So just rotate the toys. So don't always give them access to the dig box, you know, rotate it out. So it's like a new toy every time. Can we see one of your ferrets, please? I don't know where they are. I heard one go over here, but let me see. I don't think that there are any ferrets over here. I don't know, y'all. They'll come out soon. I can't understand how people can leave their ferrets in a cage most of their life. They're similar to dogs and cats, and it's just so upsetting. Yes, once you realize that, it's really, really upsetting. And I talked about it in my podcast yesterday, so I won't go too in detail, but it's really sad, for sure. How do I make my sister less afraid of my ferret? He literally does nothing, and she still screams. That's like my mom. And she's gonna watch this, and she's gonna be like, no, but yeah, she doesn't really know how to behave around my ferrets, so they tend to be naughty around her. It's really hard to make someone be a certain way. It just kind of happens over time. That's all I can really say about that. Please join TikTok. We need more people like you on there. Yeah, I've seen some interesting ferret videos on there that don't make me happy. I'm trying to foster a ferret to see if I'm ready to adopt. I can't find any ferrets near me, though. Please help anyone. Well, what state are you in? Is it okay if I let my ferrets stay in my room, which is kind of small, and they get to run around the rest of the house for 2 to 3 hours a day? Depends on how small your room is, but that might be okay. I'm not going to say that it's good, but it's not, you know, it's better than keeping your ferrets in a cage all day. If someone in your house is terrified of ferrets, maybe wait till you have your own house. That is very true. That's good advice as well. This is ASMR, her eating. Oh no! I didn't think you guys could hear me eat. I'm done anyways. I have blueberry lemonade. It's very good. Do ferrets like catnip? No. I don't think it has the same effect on them. I need a permit for a ferret, and my mom and dad says I need to pay for everything for the ferrets. Yep, that is good parenting. My parents, if I ever wanted an animal, I had to pay for it 100%. That's why they didn't get me a horse ever until I turned 18, and I bought him with my own money, and I paid for him with my own money. And then the ferrets I bought with my own money, paid for all their stuff with my own money. So that's very good parenting. Although it's hard for the child to accept usually. And I totally understand. I was there, asking for a horse every single birthday since I was like 5. But waiting is really worth it, trust me. In high school, my dad's letting me get a ferret, trying to plan the name in advance. What do you think of Lima Bean? That's cute. I like food names. Every time I wear socks, my ferret bites my feet. That's Appa. Appa will only bite feet if you're wearing socks, but he doesn't really do it anymore. Like, he doesn't seek you out anymore to do it. He will only bite your feet with socks on if he's like going crazy, you know, and you're right by him. Can ferrets go under the door crack? Yes, they can, in a lot of circumstances. I live in New Jersey. Yeah, I think you do need a permit for ferrets there. That's what I've heard. I live in Texas. There are lots of places to get ferrets in Texas. I'll tell you right now. Wait, actually, I didn't get to Texas yet, I don't think, on my list. But there are a lot. Just type in Texas ferrets. If I were to get ferrets, would they destroy the stuffed animals on my bed? They might not. I can't say for sure. Mine don't, but some do. When brushing their teeth, should I use like an actual toothbrush or the ones that go on your finger? The finger ones are the best ones because the bristles are really small, but you can use regular toothbrushes. It just doesn't do that good of a job. I'm naming one of my ferrets Bean. Don't know what to name the other ones. I like matching names, so you could do Bean and then maybe name the other ones like different kinds of nuts, like cashew. I think cashew would be a really cute name for a ferret. Almond is a really cute name for a ferret. Walnut. I don't know. I like really dumb names. What food brands are best for them? Please check out my video that I just posted on this topic, actually. It's titled, If I Can't Feed Raw, something like that. What should you do if you can't feed raw? I live in North Carolina. There are places to get ferrets there as well. My ferrets try to chew the rubber on the back of my shoes. How can I stop that? There's no way to stop that. You have to just keep your shoes out of reach. Rubber is like a drug to them for some reason. They love the feeling of it on their teeth. So I would, keep it out of their area. Do you need a permit for a ferret in Florida? I am not sure. You'd have to Google that. I don't think so, but again, I am unsure. How much money should I save before getting 2 ferrets? I have a video on that. What raw technique do you recommend for beginner raw feeders? I have a video on that. Before you guys ask questions, just go like on my YouTube and like hit search, and I've covered almost every topic relating to ferrets. And watch my question and answer videos too, because your question might also be in there. You don't have to watch them now, but that's just a general thing that I wanted to say. Rice and Bean, that's really cute. I like the names Dobby, Bear, Aries, and Onion. Those are cute. I have a cat named Dobby back home. He's a big goofball. Do you like the names Pluto and Menchie? Sure. Peanut, that's cute. I tried looking, but they are all Waco, and I'm 8 to 9 hours away. The closest ferret adoption is 1 to 2 hours away. I want to call my ferret S'more or Marshmallow. Yeah, I had to travel 2 hours to get Appa and Momo. And if you don't have a shelter within range, then check on Craigslist or Facebook groups. There's probably a Texas ferret adoption group. I'll say that right now. I need lotion. My face is so dry. Oh my god, it's awful. I have lotion on my glasses. I always get lotion on my glasses when I put them on. Put it on when I have them on. There we go. Have you gotten to New Mexico for ferret rescues? I don't. Yes, I have. For New Mexico, I have Ferrets First of New Mexico, Otero County Ferret Rescue, and Texaco Ferret Rescue, and then that doesn't include any like of your normal Humane Society type places where you would get cats and dogs. Are there any awake ferrets that can get out to say hello, craving my daily dose of fuzzies? No one is awake right now. I can see. I'll do it this one time for y'all. We'll see who is closest to me that I can get. Let's see. We got Appa. And you guys can see how big this ferret is. Look at this ferret. He weighs almost 3 pounds. He's sleepy. It's okay, you can sleep right there. Gollum and Smeagol are cute names. I agree. Is Craigslist safe? I mean, you have to be careful on Craigslist. It's just random people posting things. So some people, will try to scam you. Some people are legit. So just, do your research into the people posting. Meet in a public place. Don't meet someone by yourself. Guys, just please, please, please don't buy from a pet store. I cannot stress this enough. Life with parrots is absolutely correct. Please do not go out and buy from a pet store. Any PA adoption places? Yes. There are also a lot of Pennsylvanian ferret breeders, too, which you can look into as well. Appa from Avatar. Yep, you're right. Hi, buddy. He is so big. He's so heavy right now. Oh, my God. Do you recommend a Facebook group for ferret lovers and owners? The Holistic Ferret Forum has a active Facebook page. I like that the best. That's about it. I've left all the other like ferret groups that I was a part of on Facebook because I didn't like them. So the Holistic Ferret Forum is the only one that I would recommend on Facebook so far. My ferrets have the same lifestyle like yours, which I love, but one is very playful and the other is lazy. Is that normal for one not to join and play with her? Sometimes, I mean, if that's her only symptom, I wouldn't be too worried. And it's also winter time where they're, you know, more relaxed. But could be a sign of a health problem, could not be. It really depends on if there's any other symptoms present. What should you put under your door to prevent them from going under? There's actually door draft stoppers is what they're called that you can put under the doors. It's meant to like stop drafts from coming in, but it can help stop ferrets from going out as well. Can ferrets go on planes? That is a tough question because all airlines have different rules. You have to check each individual airline. I think they're very, very strict. They must be vaccinated. You can only do one ferret at a time. Like, there's some rules that you have to follow. Do you think they can take an 8 to 9 hour drive? Yes, they can. They're very good on road trips. As long as they have access to a litter box, food and water, and they have enough space to at least, you know, sleep away from the other ferrets. You know, they don't have to all be in one cuddle puddle all the time. My comments never get seen, Rip. Well, I'm sorry, there's just a lot of comments. It's hard to get to all of them. And sometimes if it's a question I've already answered, I will skip over it. Do you need a permit to own ferrets in Canada? I do not think so. I found these super cute mini blankets on Amazon. Would you recommend them for ferrets? Yeah, mini blankets are good. Like, baby blankets are perfect for ferrets. I know so much about ferrets, but I have always wanted to ask you about the rice pit. Are their ears too small for rice to get into them? That's an interesting question. I've never had that issue before, but I'm assuming if rice were to get into their ears, they would just shake their head and it would come out. I wouldn't be too worried about that. If you're in the UK Ferrets is an awesome group to join. From my experience, it's a caring community always there to support and help. Go check that one out. Sounds like a good one. Do ferrets need litter boxes if they go outside? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You don't need a permit for ferrets in Canada. Kenya has solidified that. You don't need a permit. Move my microphone closer. He's just dead. Look at this guy. I have a floor vent. Would I have to ferret proof this? It's pretty heavy. I don't think they'll be able to open it. Probably not. I had a floor vent at my, like, in my old room, and they didn't really bother with it as long as it's heavy enough. Do you have any places for me to get a ferret in Montana not from Petco? Like we've said a couple times now, you can check on Craigslist or online groups for any state that you cannot find a shelter nearby. And if you cannot find a ferret and your only place is from the store, do not get a ferret, whatever you do. Please, get another pet that you can ethically adopt or get from a reputable breeder. My mom is against getting a ferret, but I texted my dad about it and he sent a link to a ferret rescue. Haha. Where did you get your hoodie? I got it from Amazon. Do your ferrets dead sleep? Yes, this one does. Appa's the only one that has dead slept before that I found in dead sleep. Maybe, I think I might have caught Howl doing it one time. What should you do if your ferrets get into peanut butter and you don't get there in time? Depends on how much they ate. If they ate a lot, they might need medical attention, but if it's just a little bit, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Love your glasses. Thank you, Lori. Do you have a favorite ferret? I can't say if I have a favorite ferret. I used to always say that Pazu is my baby, that he's my favorite, but I can't really say that anymore. I love all my ferrets so much, and since moving to this apartment and having them free roam, I've really grown such a great bond with all of them individually, so I really do just love them all the same. There was a lady on Etsy that also makes mini blankets for ferrets, and you can have their name embroidered on it. That is so cute. Mine is Pazu. Shh, don't tell the others. Okay, I won't tell them. MO stands for Missouri. I didn't know that. I thought it was Montana. Then what is Montana's? But yes, same would go for Missouri. I taught my ferrets to, when I pretend to shoot at him, he falls. That's cute. What human foods can ferrets eat? Well, they can eat meat, and so can people. I don't eat meat, but they can eat meat that most humans do eat. So, but that's pretty much it. They can eat meat, fish, no dairy products, no candy, no snacks, no nothing that we eat. So just those couple things. Okay, I may sound like an idiot by asking this, but isn't buying a ferret from Petco or something a rescue because of the bad temperament / care? I'm not... What? But isn't buying a ferret from Petco or something a rescue? Oh, so you're asking... No, it is absolutely... No. If you're buying from a store, you're not rescuing an animal. There are actual shelters out there that you'd be rescuing a ferret. But I get what you're saying, and I get that mindset. But when you buy a ferret from a pet store, they're immediately just replaced within the next week. So you think you're rescuing that individual ferret, but you're not helping ferrets in the long run by supporting a shelter or a reputable breeder. I've talked about this a lot in my first podcast episode, so please go listen to that if you have more questions on that, because I go into it in depth in that episode. So last question, raw uncooked meat or cooked unseasoned meat, which is safe? Raw meat, always raw meat, no cooked bones. I mean, cooked meat is technically safe with no seasonings, but I wouldn't personally feed that, obviously. What types of meat can ferrets eat? Because couldn't tell in other videos. I do actually talk about this in all my raw videos, but you can check out my blog. I have a page called PMR Diets for Ferrets, so check that out. I talk about all the different kinds of meats that they can eat. Is Northern Exotics a bad place to get ferrets from? I have never personally heard of that place. I don't know what it is, so I'm not sure. Do you brush their fur? If so, what kind of brush do you recommend? I do not brush them. They do that themselves. Hi, how long have you been live? So far, 44 minutes. Because Barry licks lids, I was a little worried since I know they should not have peanut butter. That's fine. If it's only a few licks and you catch them in time, shouldn't be a problem. He's just asleep. They're all in food coma. They were eating all morning. How daily should I clean my ferret cage? It depends, but depends on how often you keep them in there, you know? If they're in there like all day, then of course you should clean the cage all day, and then of course you should not be keeping them in there all day. But again, it depends. Are there any good cheaper cages rather than the Ferret Nation? I can't find any. If you cannot afford the double Ferret Nation for your ferrets, I would not get a ferret, because that goes to show that you don't have the funds. This is just me being very blunt. It just goes to show that you might not have the proper funds to actually have the ferret. You should always have at least $1,000 saved for each of your ferrets in case of an emergency. So if you can't afford, you know, like a cage, you might want to rethink your choice of pet. And that's not me being mean. That's me just being blunt. Just giving it to you how it is, you know? Are there any supplements you have to add to meat, like powder supplements? If you have a vid on this, what is it called? I have a blog post on it. Do I? No. I think I posted it on my raw feeding Instagram, but I don't feed any powder supplements right now. There are a few that are decent for ferrets, but I don't use them because there's just not enough, proof. And since ferrets are so particular, I don't feel comfortable feeding something that not a lot of people have been feeding for their ferrets. I'm just going to push my glasses up. There we go. But no. I just feed animal products and fish and shellfish. I can never say that. That's all I really feed them. And eggs. Eggs is technically a supplement, but not a powder supplement. But there have been people that have fed, it's called reishi mushroom for ferrets with mast cell tumors. And it's been known to actually help shrink mast cell tumors. But I have never personally fed it. Can I please donate money to you? I would absolutely appreciate that. If you guys want to help Tanji's vet bill fund, please go to that video that I posted. Or you could just go into my community page on YouTube and you can find the link to the donation page for him. But yeah, he's getting his surgery soon. Very excited for him and also extremely nervous because I've never put a ferret through surgery before. So I'm really nervous for him, but I think it'll go okay. But if you wanted to donate money, that would be, and help me out and help my family out, that's the best way to do so. Do they cuddle? Yes. I'm going to try to sit up so you guys can see him a little bit better. Him sleeping. He's so cute. Ah! There you go. Ugh. Hi, baby. I love you. I love you. He's so cute. Are Pazu and Howl named after Ghibli characters? Yes, they are. Good catch. Is the bottom half of a Ferret Nation cage enough for 2 ferrets if they get to roam outside the cage for 8 hours? I only recommend the single Ferret Nation for more than 1 ferret if, even just for 1, if it's open all day. It's very small. It's a lot smaller than you would think when you actually have the single Ferret Nation in front of you. It's pretty small. My parents said to get a ferret must earn $500 and take care of my dog. If I do that, I will get a ferret by December 25th. Good luck with that, I guess. Yes, you can vaccinate your ferrets, but it is a very, very personal decision because vaccinations for ferrets are actually extremely, extremely risky. That's not me being an anti-vaxxer. I am not an anti-vaxxer for, other species and people. But for ferrets, they're so fragile that a lot can go wrong. So you have to make sure that you have a knowledgeable vet. You do them a couple weeks apart, and you go to the vet before and after and stay after your appointment to make sure that they don't have a reaction, because it is a very real thing that happens. It's not just something that happens once in a while. It happens to a lot of ferrets. So just keep that in mind. Do your research, Would you recommend male or female ferrets? It really doesn't matter. Can ferrets wear collars? Yes, they can, but they can get stuck on things, so just be careful. What is your golden rule for owning ferrets? That is a very good question. I would say keep them as cage-free as you can. Make them free range as much as you can. I would say that that's one of the biggest things with owning ferrets, and also making sure that you're feeding a good diet, of course. But free roaming is the most important thing. And a lot of people don't realize that making sure that your ferrets have proper exercise is actually crucial for their health. So ferrets that are cooped up all day will not be healthy in comparison to ferrets that are let out for the majority of the day. My old ferret had something like a wheelchair for his back legs. That's so cute. I'm a part of a group that makes wheelchairs for ferrets, and it's literally the cutest thing ever. It makes me so happy when I see the ferrets running around with their wheelchairs. Some people like to train them like with sit and rollover and stuff like that. What's your opinion on doing that? That's awesome. It's a great enrichment idea to train them. Pazu knows how to roll over. He knows how to spin. He comes when he's called. And it's really fun. It's a great bonding experience to do that. Oh. I've been a subscriber since early 2018. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear it. I'm trying to save up, but I am an impulsive spender. What do I do? Don't spend. I used to have that problem. I would go to the mall like every single week and buy clothes for myself, and that very quickly stopped when I had my own animals. I much rather would spend money on them. Makes me happier. So now I don't buy things like clothes for myself anymore. I don't buy, things that I don't need anymore. I don't know, just having good self-discipline, really. Just to put $10 in a box every week or whenever you can to save up money, then break it open at the end of the year. That is also a very, very good idea. Each time you get a paycheck, put some money, set some money aside for your ferret. That's a really good idea to do. What? Do you want to get down? Do you want to get down? Are you sick of me? Are you sick of me? He's very kissable. He's very kissable. I wish my ferrets could come when they're called. Hi. He's like, why did I end up here? I was asleep in the closet. Yes. You want to go? Okay. Okay. Probably has to go to the bathroom. How did you teach Pazu to come when his name is called? Really easy. I didn't really honestly teach him that. He just learned it over time. But you can teach a ferret to do that if you get them to come to you, give them a treat, and then put a word to it. So start saying their name, and then they come, and then you treat them. It's really easy. Should I use salmon oil for my ferrets? And if so, what brand do you recommend? I actually have a blog post on salmon oil if you're interested. A lot of people overfeed salmon oil, so just make sure that you don't do that. But I don't feed salmon oil. I feed whole fish instead, which is much better for them. Is there a certain ferret that you would recommend for a first-time owner? I would say get a older, middle-aged ferret, because that way they are already potty trained probably. They're already gone through bite training. They just need a really nice, stable home to, spend the rest of their life in. And I would always recommend like middle-aged ferrets over babies, because babies are so stressful. You guys have no idea. No idea. I have a problem of buying like 100 hammocks and blankets for my ferrets every time I go online. Yes, I have that problem. You guys can't even see. That back there, that is all beds, blankets, stuff for them, hammocks that I don't really use anymore. My fuzzy isn't happy with the space he has 24/7. He is cage raging even though he has 6 to 8 hours free roam. Yeah, 6 to 8 hours is not always enough for a lot of ferrets. It's definitely not enough for any of my ferrets if I were to do that. So try to give more free roam time and try to make the space more fun. Do a rice box, a ball pit, tunnels, tubes. Make it really fun for them. And rotate the items out too. I need $600 for everything a ferret needs, and in my ferret bank, I only have $6. I'm sorry. But yeah, it does take time. If you don't have, a steady form of income, it's going to be practically impossible. So I always recommend, if you're going to be getting a pet, have a job. That is what I'll say. What's a good treat for ferrets? Freeze-dried chicken hearts. Yes, that would be a good treat. My mom is a pharmacist, so she deals with dosage of drugs. She helps me get the perfect amount of salmon oil. That's great. I have 2 double ferret nations put together for 2 of my ferrets, and they get 13 hours or more out of the cage. That's awesome. Mine get 16 hours out every day. That's awesome, guys. I buy a lot of hammocks for my ferrets because I always want to change it for holidays. Yeah, that's what I would do when I had a cage. I'd always want like a Halloween themed cage and a Christmas themed cage. But now that I don't have a cage, well, technically I do have a single ferret nation in my car. It's Tanji's cage, but not mine, technically. So stay determined, maybe get another job too. You'll get there. Yes. Yes. And I don't know, maybe wait until all this craziness goes down whenever that happens. Because a lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are having trouble finding jobs. It's just a really rough time right now to be getting a new animal. Is it okay to walk ferrets on the road, or should it be more in places like trails? I would say trails would be better on their feet, especially like in the summer. The pavement might be too hot, and like all the little rocks and stuff might not be great. I'm not sure though. Just makes sense for me that way. If I'm buying ferrets that were previously owned, will they still bond to me? Absolutely they will. If you treat them with love and respect and you raise them properly, they will learn to love you too. That's what we're doing with Tanji right now. He's a little antisocial, and he's not super attached to me yet because he's confused. But he's growing a bit of a bond with me, so we'll see how it goes. Do you think a grumpy old dog and a perky, rowdy younger dog would be good for a ferret? I mean, again, I can't, speak for your pets, guys, but it all depends, on their disposition with like other animals. How are they with other cats? If you know that, you'll be able to tell how they'll be with other ferrets. When I walk my ferret, everyone asks questions. Yes, whenever I bring them outside anywhere, we do get a lot of questions. I love the tree wall beside you. Thank you. It's our tapestry. I really do like it. I think it was a good purchase. It makes the room feel a little bit bigger when it's not. Could I take ferrets on hikes? Yes, you can. Just make sure to build up their stamina before you take them on like a really long hike, because they can get overwhelmed and tired really easily. Shoot for like a day that isn't super windy, that isn't super cold or hot, and do like a short flat walk. Do a couple of those first, and then maybe build up, like do a walk that has some hills, and then don't just go straight into like a 6-hour hike, but yeah, they can go hiking. But I would probably discuss with your vet like flea and tick type treatments for them, if you live in an area where like ticks are a big problem. Do you think it's okay to get a ferret before or after you move? Probably after would be best, after you're settled into a place. I've heard ferrets may be able to get the virus. Are you worried, or are you doing anything extra to help prevent them from getting sick? Also, have your ferrets ever gotten the flu? Pazu did get a upper respiratory infection a month ago, and that was pretty frustrating and scary, but he's fine now. And just washing hands whenever you come home. Everyone around here is pretty much like house ridden right now, so there really isn't too much of a risk of them getting sick. But whenever I go anywhere, I just wash my hands really, really well before I touch them. Really. My ferret bit a hole in my shirt. Yep, they do that sometimes. Will you be keeping the new baby? No. As of right now, no. Just because, I'm perfectly happy with my crew, and I don't know. I have to be realistic, with what I can spend and whatnot. So as of right now, no. He'll be adopted out when he's all recovered. It's snowing where I am. Is it okay to let Barry play in the snow as long as he's on leash? Also, how do you know if he's ready to come in? Oh, they'll tell you when they're ready to come in. They'll usually climb up your leg and ask to be picked up to go inside. But yeah, you can let them out in the snow. I think it's like 10 minutes or less or something, depending on how cold it is outside. How should I feed my ferrets with raw? Also, how often do I feed raw a day? Check out my raw playlist. I answer all those questions. Should I walk all 3 of my ferrets at the same time? You can. It'll be a little tricky. I can do 2 of them at the same time because I can connect my 2 leashes together to make one leash that splits at the end. But I would probably not do more than 2. Have any of your ferrets bit you? Yes, both on accident and on purpose. Let's see. Appa bit, if you can see that dark spot on my nail, Appa bit through my nail on accident when I was hand feeding him. And it hurt so bad, and it was so sore for days after. They can deal a pretty strong bite, but that was an accidental bite. But Pazu bit me one time when I was trying to get his harness on to go to the vet. Howl used to be a big biter, but he doesn't do it anymore. But if we get bit now, it's usually because we did something stupid. I'll get a double ferret nation cage for my 2 ferrets. When I go to my mom's apartment, can I just bring the upper or bottom of the cage, or do I need to bring the whole cage? I don't remember if you're the one who said that, like, you're at your dad's house for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a single ferret nation is a lot. Again, it's very small. It's a lot smaller than you would think. It's better to have a double ferret nation at both of your parents' houses, especially if it's like a permanent, you know, if your parents are divorced. I'm assuming it's permanently. So it's a good idea to have that same setup in both places, because transporting that cage, people who have this cage will know that if you're trying to get, oh yeah, that wouldn't even work. It wouldn't even work. So if you get the double ferret nation, you actually can't like split it in half. I think you can. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So I would recommend having that same cage for both houses, especially since it's a permanent situation. So just get 2 double ferret nations. It's a lot of money, but it will be worth it. Trust me. Can having ferrets sometimes be a strain? Yes, of course. Having any animal can be a strain. Can be frustrating, but can also be rewarding. Is it okay to have ferrets if I also have a gecko? Yes, guys, if you have like fish or geckos or snakes, just keep them in a totally separate area and they're fine. Is there any good DIY toys you can make for ferrets? I mean, you can, but you just go and buy the cheap cat toys and it's fine. Yeah, you can Google that and something will come up for DIY cat toys or ferret toys. My ferrets have a thing about throwing themselves off high places. Do your ferrets do this, or is it just mine? Yes. Mine will do the suicidal dives often off of like the edge of my bed, and it's very scary. I always think that they're gonna get hurt and I get worried about them. Hello, I love your channel. I'm actually going to adopt some of my own fur babies. That's awesome, Paige. Nice. Congratulations. And if you guys weren't here earlier, I thanked everyone for 5,000 subscribers. That is awesome. It's so amazing. I'm still like in shock. I can't believe that we're at 5,000 now, because we were just at 4,000 like a month ago. So it's crazy. Craziness. I'm getting a water bottle for my ferrets, but instead of having a spout kind of thing, it has a little water bowl. I'm not sure. I can't really picture that in my head. As long as it's not like the water bottle, then it's fine. My brother wants a bunny, and I want a ferret, but if I get a ferret, will it try to eat it? Yes. Definitely keep your ferret and your bunny completely separate. Like, they shouldn't even know that the other one exists. That's how separated you should keep them. They should never be kept in the same room. That will not work. Alright guys, I'm going to be going in like 10 minutes or so. So, say your final questions, so I can go play my video games. You deserve 10 million subscribers. I don't know if I'll ever get there. How old are you? Same with your ferrets. I am 22, and my ferrets are, they're all 1 year old. Tanji is 3, and Pazu will be 2 over the summer. Pazu and Howl will be 2 over the summer. I made a mini Jenga for my ferret and he likes knocking it down. That's cute. Thank you so much. I don't think I deserve that many subscribers, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? Spread ferret care to a larger audience. Proper ferret care. That would be awesome. What are unsafe ferret toys? I already talked about this, like rubber. I talk about this in a lot of my videos, actually. Rubber, stuffed toys, yada yada. How long have you been live now? I've been here since you've started. About an hour. Do you go to college? If so, what is your major? I was going to college, just liberal arts, but I realized that I don't actually need that degree for what I want to do in life, so I stopped. But yeah, I don't really regret it. I only have like a semester worth of classes and then I'm done. But I don't know. It's not something that I want to finish, really. In response to the ferret bunny thing, my brother and his wife have bunnies. When I go to their house, his bunnies are very angry at me because I smell like ferret. They stomp their feet at me. Yeah, bunnies are... they're smart. They're very smart, and they get frustrated like that. I've heard that more than once, actually, over, like, the scent of a ferret. Birds, too. Keep birds away, pet birds away from ferrets. Am I the only one who likes decorating for my ferret's birthday? No. That's awesome. Are squeaker toys bad for ferrets? I mean, they're not great, and I wouldn't keep them with them unsupervised. I wouldn't keep any toys unsupervised with the ferrets. I mean, with mine, it's different because I know that they're not going to do anything, but... Do you like ferrets or horses more? Ferrets, of course, but I've always been a horse girl. But since having ferrets, they're definitely the better pet, in my opinion. Can you do dog tug-of-war? Can you do dog tug-of-war chew toys? I mean, they're like the rope toys, probably not the best ones either. Just stick to cat toys, like the on the string with like the wand. Stick with those types of toys for them. When you have ferrets, you'll realize that you don't really need a lot of toys for them. More so just enrichment items like rice box and tunnels and stuff. They much prefer those over like little toys. Okay, guys, I'm going to go in like a couple minutes, so ask your questions. Do you think I'm extra if I celebrate my fish's birthday? I would do the exact same thing. So no, I wouldn't say that that's extra. You know, fish deserve birthday parties as well, so. So answer or ask your final questions for me. And I will go in a couple mins. But I'll make another video sometime soon. Maybe not this weekend. I don't know. I might just do blog posts this weekend. And do videos next week. Thank you so much for answering my questions. To be honest, you're now my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much. I'm honored. I am very honored. Can your ferrets swim in water? Yes, they can, but they're not great swimmers, so I wouldn't, you know, force them to swim. Also, I suggest ball pits. My ferrets love ball pits, but I do suggest ping pong balls since they can bite through the other ones. Yes. OMG, I love your channel so much. It has helped me a lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. My mom says my cat is going to get jealous with all the cat things I get for my ferret. Yep. Yes, please don't bathe your ferrets. Hi, Ashley. Hope you're doing well. Or twice. Do you own your own horse? I used to own my own horse. I had him for about a year. But I ran out of money. So I had to sell him. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. It was a really huge learning experience for me and a big wake-up call. But I would love horses in the future. And I think, like, when I get my own house someday, when I buy a house, I would love to have horses at my house. That's like the ideal, having my own small farm. That would be awesome. If my cat toy for my ferrets is really fluffy, like kind of feathery, would it be safe? Yeah, just don't let them chew on it. Are there any shelters in Texas that you know of? Yes, we went over that earlier. There are shelters in Texas. You just have to type in Texas ferrets in your Google. And if you can't find them there, then do Craigslist, Facebook groups. Just type in Texas ferrets like on Facebook and you'll probably find something. Alright guys, I think it is time for me to go, unfortunately, but it has been an hour and 10 minutes. How often do you go horseback riding? Right now, maybe once a week. I could go more than that, but the barn is pretty far away from my house, so it takes a lot of gas to get there. Alright guys, I think it is time for me to head out. If you have other questions for me that I didn't answer, feel free to direct message me on Instagram. I'll answer them at some point. Sometimes I forget to answer my DMs, and I really don't do it on purpose. How can I become a moderator? I've been a fan for a while and would love to be one. Absolutely. So next time I stream, I'll give out new moderator things for people. So just keep an eye out for my next stream, and for sure I can do that. Alright guys, bye! Hope you're staying safe, stay inside, wash your hands, keep an eye out for blog posts, Instagram posts, keep an eye on Tanji's progress. If you guys want to donate to Tanji's vet fund, I have a GoFundMe set up for him. He'll be getting his surgery, I'm not sure, end of this month, not sure, beginning of the next month, not sure yet, but I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye.